Hello everyone, today we are going to talk about a adventure romance film called Virgin Territory from 2007. Enjoy your viewing. At the beginning of the film, Tendo tells us that he used to be a thief, but he could easily be punished or dishonored for it. So he chose the profession of an artist. He likes to paint animals, nuns, and angels. But soon everything changed, and the plague came to Italy. He tells the story of Lorenzo, who loses a card game with Carbino. After that, he runs away from him. Carbino tries to catch him, but Lorenzo is very good at running away from him and says that he won't get him. Lorenzo is in love with Poma. She is rich, but not spoiled. Just a discerning girl. Lorenzo is met by his friends who tell him that his house is surrounded by Carbino. After that, Lorenzo leaves the city. Tindaro finds out that his priest has fallen into an eternal sleep and realizes that he will not receive any money. He started hearing voices in his head all the time, and he gets the idea to become a priest because they took everything for themselves: money, power, and beautiful nuns. Later, they show Carbino. Tindaro says that he looks like a stallion, but there are rumors that his sword in his pants is long rusted. Pimpa's parents are dead, and she is forced to marry the Russian Count. Zinsky. Carbino says that before his death, his father gave his consent for Pampa to marry him later. Lorenzo rides away on a horse from Gino's guards. He meets a worker, and the worker tells him that he is carrying a body from a monastery called the Bleeding Heart. He says that the main secret of this gardener was that he was deaf and dumb. Lorenzo hides in a tree from the bandits, but then falls and loses consciousness. 3 nuns find him. They call him an angel sent from heaven. Then they bring him to the monastery. They discuss him and admire him, saying how beautiful his lips and hair are. One nun offers to undress him to see if he has any wounds. She lifts his shirt and kisses his stomach and then offers to kiss him on the lips. Lorenzo notices all this, but remains silent when their mother arrives. They believe that he must be deaf and dumb, and she is happy that they will have a new gardener. She suggests that they send him to take a bath. The nuns visit Lorenzo and do something very unusual for them later. Pampa invites her friends to come to her wedding. Filomena boasts of her innocence, and Alyssa says that not everyone here is as innocent as she thinks. They say that Pampa is in love with Lorenzo, and Carbino hears this. He threatens his friends, and Tindaro hears it. The voices come to his head again, and he asks Carbino to leave the holy place. The latter wants to punish him for his rudesse, but Tindaro asks him about the last time he confessed. Tindaro is shocked by what he has just said and decides to become a priest. Filomena finds a carriage to take them to the wedding. Alyssa asks who it is, and Filomena says it is her uncle Bruno. He is not very smart, but the main thing is that he is still innocent. Bruno says that he keeps himself as the apple of his eye at this point. Alyssa says that Tindaro will be their priest. Then they show Pampa, who has arrived at the monastery to preserve her virginity, but she does not yet know who she is among. At this point, Count Zinsky arrives. He introduces himself to Carbino and thinks he is Pam's father. Carbino greets him rudely and says that he is Pimpa's future husband. They threaten each other, and the Count is forced to leave the castle. He is met by the pastor, who tells him that Pimpa will be waiting for him at the country villa and gives him a letter from her 2 nuns come to Lorenzo and ask him to give them what he gave to the other nuns. They begin to undress, and Lorenzo happily agrees. At this time, Tindaro leaves with Bruno. He says that he often spoils the air, and Fila is constantly bragging about her virginity, and she starts doing it again. She talks about her friend Diono, who is supposedly also innocent. Poma says that he has been acting very strangely lately. Later, Diono and his friend noted 2 girls beckoning to them. He tells his friend to ask them what they want. They offer them milk to drink and bread to eat. The boys run after the girls to the barn there. The girls show them a cow and tell them that this is their milk. Filomena hears the boys and girls shouting from the barn. She enters and sees the boys rubbing themselves and the girls against each other. On this day, the nuns, along with Pampa, come to Lorenzo to give him some water, but when Poma does this, she pours water on his head and tells him to drown later. Father Tindaro decides to leave Filana. He advises her that there is nothing wrong with kissing a lip and leaves the next day. Pampa comes to Lenzo. She blindfolds him, kisses him, and tells him that she is dreaming about him later. Diano goes to the forest to see Filomena. She finds him, kisses him easily, and tells him that he will soon get what he wants from her. Then she kisses him again and again. Do you want to see part 2 of this video? Subscribe to the channel and comment part 2. Thanks for watching. I would see you at part 2.